Okay friends, the first thing we're going to do is take a skull tracer and trace it on a second piece of fabric. Then, before we cut it out, somewhere on this, I want you to write your name. Next to your name, please write your teacher code. That's 4 and the first letter of your teacher's name. Then, you can cut it out. Now we're almost ready to sew. First thing I'm going to do is take my 2 skulls and I'm going to put them together like this. I'm going to make sure my name is on the outside. It's going to be on the back. Then I'm going to take one of these binder clips and I'm going to carefully clip them together. That way they don't move around too much. So these are ready to sew together. What I'm going to do next is take some string, take a needle and a hot dog bun, and get ready to thread my needle. First I take the string, put it in the hot dog bun, slide the hot dog bun through the needle, and there we go, my needle is threaded. Then I'm going to tie a knot. I make a fish shape, take the fish tail, put it up and under, and pull these sides apart. If you want to double knot it, you do the same thing again. Make a fish shape, take the tail, under, over, pull them apart. I'm almost ready to start sewing. Last thing I'm going to do is tie a knot on the back. So I make that fish shape, take the tail, over, under, pull it through, and I'm going to tie actually a couple of knots so my string doesn't get pulled through the fabric. And if they're spaced kind of far apart, you just keep tying until you've got one nice big knot. I think I'm going to tie one more time. Okay, now I'm ready for sewing. So to sew, I'm just going to pick a spot on my skeleton. I'm going to make sure the 2 lines are lined up. I'm going to take my needle, push it through my fabric, and today I'm going to do a whip stitch. So notice my string stops, it's over on this side, and what I'm going to do is take my needle and bring it under and push it through. And I'm just going to carefully pull my string through. So I'm just going to keep going under on the back. Keep my string from getting tangled up. And then out the front. And I'm just going to keep sewing. As I sew, I want to try and keep my stitches close together. That'll keep all the stuffing from coming out once I stuff it. And I'm just going around the edge of my skeleton. You can see my whip stitch is starting to come together on the side. If you would prefer, you can do the running stitch that we practiced last week. But I like the way a whip stitch looks, so I'm just going to keep on stitching. So when you're sewing, you're eventually going to get to the point where your clip is. Once you get to your clip, just take it off. If you want to put it somewhere else, you can. And then just keep on sewing.
You say, put them on your head.
So I'm almost done sewing my whip stitch. Now, before I continue sewing, I need to stuff it. So I'm going to take some stuffing and gently push it inside. Then I'll finish sewing it up. Okay, I am all finished sewing. So what I need to do now is end it. To end it, I'm going to take my needle and pretend like it's a plane. Here's where my string's coming out. What I'm going to do is go back to my last stitch, and I'm going to take my airplane needle, fly it under that last stitch, Bring it up through the air. Then I've got a nice loop here. My airplane is going to take a U-turn. It's going to come back through this loop, and I'm going to pull tight. And that's going to make a nice little knot. Here's that again. Airplane needle, take it through the last stitch. It's going to take off, then make a U-turn, come back through this loop, and fly away as you pull tight. Then it's all stitched up. I can cut off the string. My soft sculpture is finally complete. Now it's your turn. Have fun, amazing artists.